Sports.
We are Black Fork. We are Arizona.
Game 2 against the Angels. The first place D-backs padded their division lead last night. Tonight, a chance to take both games from LA. In this 2-game set, the D-backs and the Angels coming up next on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthew, Bob Brenly along the way. With the D-backs walk-off win last night, their National League West Division lead now a game and a half over the Rockies, 3.5 up on the LA Dodgers. Our pitching matchup tonight, Odrisamer Despaigne for the Angels, and for the Diamondbacks, Clay Buchholz, Bob, coming off his complete game win at San Diego last week.
It was a masterful game for Clay Buchholz against San Diego last week. He had a fantastic cutter working in that game, both sides of the plate, commanding the ball up, down, in and out. Gave up a leadoff double, didn't give up another hit until 2 outs in the 5th inning of that game, totally in command.
Buchholz has been a tremendous shot in the arm for the pitching staff. In terms of the offense this month, the division leaders boast 2 of the top 4 or 5 players in the major leagues. Peralta and Goldschmidt red hot in August.
Wow, I'm telling you, either one of these guys can get hot and carry a team single-handedly, but with both these guys swinging the bats the way they have in the month of August, bodes well for D-backs pitching.
Trying to win both against the Angels. The first pitch is coming up on Fox Sports Arizona.
D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Tire Pros of Arizona, everything rotates around you. By the NASCAR Can-Am 500 at ISM Raceway, November 9th, 10th, and 11th. And by your Valley Honda dealer, where you'll get more standard features for less money. Arizona is brought to you by Jack in the Box. This season, D-backs home runs. Score free Jumbo Jacks, only at Jack in the Box. By Chaz Roberts, air conditioning and plumbing. Choose Chaz.
And by Gila River Hotels and Casinos. The card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up for the card today. Well, a day off tomorrow. No better way to enjoy that than a win here tonight. Clay Buchholz gets the baseball against the Angels, and the first pitch is coming up next on Fox Sports Arizona. Downtown Phoenix. Clay Buchholz set to take the mound. Steve Berthew, Bob Brenly, Kate Longworth with you. In the finale of this quick 2-game set, D-backs beginning play tonight. A season best 14 games over 500. They have won 5 of their last 6 and enjoying a bit of a cushion, Bob, atop the National League West.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter how you win. A lot of hand-wringing about the Diamondbacks scoring early and not scoring the rest of the game. Bottom line is, at the end of the day, if you end up in that W column, that's all that matters.
A 5-4 walk-off win last night, even though they were out-hit by the Angels 10-8. And the D-backs leading the division by a game and a half over the Rockies. They are 3.5 games ahead of the LA Dodgers. Here now the batting order for the LA Angels. It's brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Similar look to Mike Scioscia's lineup last night. Cole Calhoun will lead it off out in right field. David Fletcher with a big night last night at second base. Albert Pujols, the future Hall of Famer, at first. Andrelton Simmons at shortstop. Rene Rivera doing the catching. Taylor Ward once again playing third base. The change is Jabari Blash in left field tonight. Eric Young Jr. will be out in center, and Odrisamer Despaigne on the mound.
And your Ram Truck starting pitcher for the D-backs is Clay Buchholz. A dozen starts. He's had a remarkable season. 6-2, the ERA of 2.47. And in his previous start last Thursday at San Diego, Buchholz went the distance. His first complete game in more than 3 years.
Yeah, unfortunately didn't end up a shutout. A very controversial 2-strike pitch that was called a ball. He gave up a home run, a solo home run on the next pitch, but the only blemish on his outing that day against the Padres.
5-1 in his last 6 starts. E.D. Marshall Jewelers has a look around the diamond at the D-backs defense tonight.
A.J. Pollock out in center field. David Peralta in left. Steven Souza Jr. over in right field. It'll be Eduardo Escobar at third. Nick Ahmed at short. Daniel Descalso gets the start at second base against a right-hander tonight. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Alex Avila behind the plate for right-hander Clay Buchholz.
Laz Diaz behind the plate for the umpires. He'll be calling the balls and strikes tonight. The crew chief Jeff Nelson is our first base ump. Andy Fletcher at second, and Manny Gonzalez is at third. Time, Bob, for your Valley Honda dealers key to the game.
Well, even though it's only a 2-game set, the possibility to sweep. Notice 2 exclamation points for the 2-game set.
You must have been listening to the Snake Talk radio program.
Yes, I was, and I
night.
agree with you. I think a series is 3 or more.
We got into a semantic argument with the show's host, Mike Farron. A 2-game series isn't quite enough for a series. We'll go with set. It works for us anyway. So here's Cole Calhoun, the Buckeye native, 226 and 17 home runs, leads it off. Where were you last night when I needed you? I was the only one in the radio booth.
Yelling at my steering wheel.
D-backs have the shift on. They will overshift for both Calhoun and Pujols. This one send Peralta back to the track and left.
You can't get much more efficient than this. 1 pitch, 1 out. David Peralta out there in the notch by the Diamondbacks bullpen. Almost overran that ball. Had to reach back to his left to make that catch. But 1 pitch, 1 out. You love that.
Just about where David hit his home run last night. Yeah. Same kind of a fly ball. Yeah, just sort of slicing in that direction for David. David Fletcher, the second baseman, had a big night last night. 278, 1 home run. 24-year-old rookie.
Singled twice and tripled in the ball game last night. Drove in 2, scored 1. One of the outs he made was a line drive to David Peralta out there in left field.
Yeah, they didn't really know what to do with Fletcher, a 3-hit night. And he has now hit safely in 7 straight games. 5 of those are multi-hit games. Once again, Clay Buchholz getting ahead in the count. That's one big key for him all year long. He has thrown first pitch strikes since the get-go. There's the slow curve, and it's 0-2. That's the pitch that worked so well for him in San Diego last week, the cutter and the curveball. When the changeup kind of abandoned him a bit early in the game, and he quickly adjusted.
Well, that's when you talk about a veteran presence on the mound, the ability to understand that I don't have a good changeup today, but I have other pitches I can use to get big league hitters out, and quickly changed his game plan. Didn't throw many changeups in the second half of that ball game at all. Boy, his command of that cutter was so good against the Padres.
Yeah, we saw him adjust as he went along, mixing speeds on the cut fastball, taking a little off from time to time, throwing more curveballs for strikes as an off-speed pitch. First complete game since July 4th of 2015. There's the changeup that he left up just a bit. Fletcher fouled it off. Clay Buchholz has given up more than 2 earned runs only twice in his 12 starts with the D-backs this year. He has been an absolute gem in this rotation. At the age of 34, having a nice comeback season. Fastball misses away. Fletcher, as we learned last night, can be a tough out. He's got 13 hits in his last 30 at bats. So he's been, over the course of this 7-game streak, just about a 500 hitter. And he sends one out to right field for Souza.
And David Fletcher perhaps enjoying that honeymoon period before teams get enough scouting and enough videotape gathered to figure out where the holes are in your swing.
Well, the first time Patrick Corbin faced Albert Pujols, the first 2 times last night, he got almost nothing to hit. And he walked both times up. We'll see how Clay Buchholz chooses to attack Big Albert. D-backs overload the left side of the infield with Nick Ahmed at shortstop, as Bob pointed out last night. Way out there, almost in short left. Oh, got the call with the curveball. StatCast AI powered by AWS. You see how deep Ahmed is there at short.
He's playing rover.
It's like a free safety out there or something. Albert 0 for 2 last night. He had the 2 bases on balls against Corbin. Now in his 18th major league season, headed for the Hall of Fame.
Took a hack at the fastball up, and Buchholz, as he so often is ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rockies in action right now, hosting the Padres. They have a 3-1 lead in the third at Coors Field. Dodgers and Cardinals later tonight in LA. There's that cutter away. That's something that Buchholz has really done well with this year. That cutter away to the right-hand hitters. Gets a lot of called strikes with that pitch, especially lately with Avila behind the plate. These two have worked brilliantly together. As a new battery. Right there, a little low though for Laz Diaz. 2-2.
It's all right. If you're going to miss a little farther down in the zone. Don't leave it up over the heart of the plate to this guy.
You can see this matchup has been problematic for Buchholz in the past. And then again, I guess you could say that for pretty much every pitcher in the last 20 years.
Just about everybody that's ever faced him.
Yeah. Pretty deep right field. Souza at the track. 3 fly ball outs for Clay Buchholz. D-backs coming up. Again tonight to face your Ram truck starter for the Angels, the right-hander Odrisamer Despaigne. And the D-backs have seen Despaigne a fair amount before when he was with San Diego. He began this year with the Marlins and was just sold to the Angels last Tuesday.
He throws the kitchen sink up there. Sinker, cutter, four-seamer. He's got a curveball. He's got an occasional changeup, occasional slider. He'll invent pitches out there on the mound if necessary.
AJ in the leadoff spot again. Here's your batting order brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Center fielder Pollock leading it off. Eduardo Escobar at third base. David Peralta out in left field, followed by Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Daniel Descalso at second base tonight. Steven Souza Jr. in right field. Nick Ahmed at short. Alex Avila doing the catching for right-hander Clay Buchholz.
Well, AJ, 283 and 16 home runs. An odd night for AJ in the cleanup spot last night. He struck out 3 times. He was hit by a pitch, but of course he had the key bunt that wound up winning the ball game on the Bedrosian throwing error. That's fouled away. This was it, our Coors Light refreshing finish, the walk-off.
Popped a little bunt over there to the first base side, and Cam Bedrosian threw his best sinker of his career to third base that time. Ended up down the left field line. Take him any way you can get him.
That was after John Jay had been hit by a pitch to lead off that inning, and then John Ryan Murphy laid down a gorgeous bunt up the first base line. And after John Ryan's bunt, AJ was walking to home plate, and AJ usually turns his back to the dugout and walks up there, but he kept looking back at Torey Lovullo, and
Torrey kind of picked up on that and thought, okay, AJ's thinking bunt. Why not? So we put the sign on, and it worked out.
It made all the sense in the world. You get the bunt down, you move two guys into scoring position for the middle of your lineup. Torrey said, I like my chances with the guys we had coming to the plate. As it turned out, we didn't get to those guys because Bedrosian threw that bunt away.
And the D-backs wound up with win number 70 on the year. Now a season best 14 games over 500 and leading the NL West. Here's that slow hanger, and AJ pokes it down the left field line. A double starts us off. Well, you said, Bob, this guy's got the kitchen sink. He tried to get cute there.
Yeah, he'll change speeds on that breaking ball. He'll change his arm angle. Left that one up belt high over the middle of the plate for AJ. Just kind of slowed down his swing to the speed of that pitch and gets a double down in the left field corner.
Double number 20 for AJ brings up Eduardo Escobar. Escobar 281, 18 home runs. Diamondbacks already with a man in scoring position. They lead the major leagues with 109 first inning runs. They have scored at least one run in the first in 7 of their last 8 games. Put up the 2 spot in the first last night on the Peralta home run. He's on deck. There it is, well ahead of Cleveland. The Yankees, Seattle, and Colorado Mariners are in here for 3 starting on Friday. Fastball away, changeup away. It's 2-0. Escobar's hit safely in 5 straight games. He singled, walked, and scored a run last night. Lines it to EY Jr. in center. One away. E.D. Marshall Jewelers has a look at the Angels defense.
That's Eric Young Jr. out in center field. Jabari Blash will be in left tonight. Cole Calhoun over in right field. It'll be Taylor Ward at third. Hamilton Simmons at short. David Fletcher at second base. Albert Pujols over at first with Rene Rivera doing the catching for right-hander Odrisamer Despaigne.
Here is Peralta, 305 now with 24 home runs. David's OPS over 900. That's 7th best in the National League. He and Goldie, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, have been the engines driving this train offensively. Fastball is there at 94, 0-1. Peralta 3 more hits last night, including the homer. And he has seen plenty of Odrisamer Despaigne from Despagne's days with the Padres. 7 for 16 career against Despaigne. Lays off a high fastball. David has homered in back-to-back games. He's hit home runs in 5 of his last 8 games. Center field, Eric Young Jr. That's carrying on him. AJ will tag and head for third. And here comes Goldie. Couple of hard line drives to center, but both for outs.
Yeah, that carried a lot farther than I think Eric Young Jr. thought it was going to off the bat. David got some backspin on that drive just to the left of straightaway center. Chased him all the way to the warning track that time.
Paul Goldschmidt, 293, 28 home runs. As Diaz making sure Despaigne is doing what he's supposed to do out there. Starts him off with a slider for a strike. Needs to equipment malfunction. Goldie singled last night. He's now hit safely in 13 games, the longest hitting streak in the National League. Another slider, and it's 0-2. The numbers during his 13-game streak, nearly a .420 hitter.
418 seems low if you've been watching Goldie over the last 13 games.
That's saying something. Oh, fastball off the plate. We've talked about the team in the National League West that goes on a run that wins 10 of 12, 12 of 15. Is going to pull away from the field just a bit, and these guys have the two offensive engines to do that. As hot as David Peralta and Paul Goldschmidt have been. The rest of these guys are going to hop on board and hopefully get something going here. D-backs have already won 5 of 6 coming into play tonight. Descalso would be next.
Despaigne can hump it up there in the mid to upper 90s from time to time. He usually pitches in the low 90s, but every now and again he'll reach back and find a little extra on that fastball. He's thrown Goldie 95 and 96 in this at bat.
And sinker at 92 is his primary pitch. He'll follow that with the cutter and the four-seamer. A little quick pitch that time at 96. He's got the changeup, curveball. We've seen a good slider so far. His Angels debut was last Friday at Texas. After they picked him up from the Marlins, he gave up 5 earned runs on 7 hits in that start. Lasted only 4 innings. Began the season with the Marlins, working almost exclusively out of the bullpen. Goldie spits on a changeup away, and it's full 3-2. Rene Rivera behind the plate. 3-2 to Goldie. Fly ball. Say goodbye. 2-0 Diamondbacks. And Goldie now the career home runs leader at Chase Field. That's 96 in this ballpark, the most all time.
Despaigne threw him a couple of really good sliders early in the sequence. That appeared to be a cutter that just stayed right up at the top of the strike zone for Goldie, and he rarely misses those.
111 first inning runs this year for the Diamondbacks. That's a jumbo jack. Free jumbo jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box. The purchase of a large drink. Daniel Descalso. Number 29 for Goldie. He's now hit safely in 14 straight games. He had been tied with Gonzo, 95 home runs in this ballpark's history. Now Goldie out front alone. Quickly 0-2 on Daniel. Fastball is a called strike 3 by Laz Diaz. Once again, the Diamondbacks get a 2-run home run in the first inning. This time it's Goldie.
already 2-0 as we head to the second with Clay Buchholz on the mound and Diamondbacks with the lead. And the 33-year-old told me he was very eager to get back on the mound after throwing his 10th career complete shutout in San Diego. And what Mike Butcher told me impressed him the most about that outing was the fact that Clay did not necessarily have his best stuff, but he was able to go out there and battle through. He said that really speaks volumes about the knowledge of the game he has and his ability to adjust on the fly. Meanwhile, Clay tells me his success this season is all about wearing that Diamondbacks uniform. He said he really appreciates the front office here. He said the first time he walked into the Diamondbacks clubhouse, he felt accepted and a part of the team. And he gave a lot of credit to Torrey for his strong communication skills. And now, guys, it's Clay lending advice to his teammates with his veteran experience.
And getting easy outs, Kate, as Simmons grounds out to start the second. 4 outs on 14 pitches. He has been tremendously efficient. That's been one of the reasons why he's been so successful.
And throwing lots of strikes with movement, keeping the ball off the barrel, scooting it out toward the end or a little bit toward the handle, getting that easy contact, letting his defense work behind him.
Rene Rivera, the catcher. He struck out all 3 times he was up last night. Yeah, Buchholz was saying after the complete game last week, there's a look at the defense, that he's figured out there are different ways to win in the big leagues. He admits the cut fastball doesn't have to be 88 every time. It can be 84, 83, 85. Just kind of play with that a little bit. And he certainly did that to beat the Padres. Here comes AJ. And quite make it. Rivera has a 1-out bloop single.
Third baseman, number 3, Taylor Ward.
First base runner for the Angels. Rookie Taylor Ward, the third baseman, 240 and 1 home run. Ward last night 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts, playing in only his 7th major league game. There's a fastball for a strike. Diamondbacks have the overshift on to Scalzo, the second baseman. Just a bit over on the shortstop side of the bag. Goldie holding Rivera on the base at first. It's really been fun to watch Clay Buchholz adjust as the game does go on. Last week in San Diego, gave up that leadoff double to Travis Jankowski, then set down the next 14 batters he faced. And he was saying, when you get in situations where a guy has seen all your pitches, second, third time through the order, maybe do just take a little bit off that cutter, and maybe he just mishits it enough to get weak contact. And that has been the story of Buchholz this year. Quick, efficient outs, a lot of weak contact. He's not putting up big strikeout numbers, doesn't need to.
Well, unfortunately, many times that's a lesson guys don't learn until it's too late. But fortunately, Clay Buchholz physically still has enough left in the tank to use his newfound knowledge of how to get big league hitters out, and still has good enough stuff to do it.
One and two on Taylor Ward. Called strike 3. Got him looking at a fastball. First strikeout for Buchholz.
Just tremendous command in the early going, like we saw in San Diego. Four-seam fastball to jump ahead. Another one right down the middle of the plate. Cuts one off the outside corner. And then another four-seamer right there.
Buchholz has thrown, look at this, 20 pitches, only 4 balls. He's faced 6 batters. He's thrown 6 first pitch strikes. Here's Jabari Blash, the left fielder.
That was our Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game. That Clay Buchholz is a fun guy to watch, the pitch by pitch, the way he works it around the strike zone, just with little subtle movements here and there.
Starts Blash with a curveball up, just 2 for 23 this year. We saw Blash last couple of seasons as a Padre. There's the D-backs defense against him. He's got that bat head pointed all the way back directly out toward the pitcher.
He's got a lot going on.
6'5", 235. He's a big dude from the U.S. Virgin Islands. You name it, it's happened to Blash. He's been a Rule 5 pick. He's been DFA'd. He's been waived. Still trying to figure it out. This is a new twist.
And a big leg kick coming out of that feet together stance.
He has got enormous power, long home runs, but it's the making contact part that becomes a problem.
Tends to be problematic. So, you know, why not do a lot of stuff that no other hitter does? Stand with your feet together, point the barrel of the bat out toward the pitcher, take a big leg kick. Maybe that'll work.
There's a shot of the hitting coach, Eric Hinsky, in the Angels dugout, former D-back great. And Blash, 4 times now up and down from the majors to the minors with the Angels this year. He's played most of the season at AAA Salt Lake, where he's leading the Coast League in home runs with 26. He's hitting over 320 down there, but it just hasn't translated at the big league level. I don't know if that's a crazy Bobby Tolan. Something's going on there. And there is the fastball. Second strikeout for Buchholz. 2-0 Diamondbacks. For baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Tony Walters, the Rockies catcher at Coors Field against Jacob Nix. The pitcher the Diamondbacks knocked out of the ball game in the first inning last week in San Diego. He's having trouble in Denver tonight. It's 3-1 Colorado. They are in the 5th inning. D-backs up a game and a half on the Rockies, 3.5 ahead of the Dodgers. LA home later tonight against the Cardinals.
Yeah, Diamondbacks weren't able to take advantage of that overshift in the outfield by the Padres, but we saw it plenty against left-handed hitters. They put the right fielder way over in the gap in right center, and Tony Walters took advantage, hooking that ball down into the right field corner at Coors.
Steven Souza Jr. leads off the second against Odrisamer Despaigne. Hard to second. Fletcher is there. First ground ball out for Despaigne tonight brings up Nick Ahmed. Talking to Torey Lovello before the game today about Nick, who was 0 for 4 last night, couple of strikeouts. It seems the last several series the teams have changed the way they attack
Nick Ahmed, and responding to his really productive offensive season. A lot of breaking balls, off-speed pitches early in counts. And Nick has, in a sense, been getting himself out just a bit lately, chasing some pitches that he might be better off just kind of spitting on and letting go. He starts it off with a sinker down and away. So Torrey was saying maybe Nick early in his at-bats be a little more patient up there, look at some more pitches and wait for the one that you were getting earlier this year and hitting for doubles and homers. Here's another fastball just like that, but it's 0-2.
Watching Despaigne out there, I'm trying to put my finger on who he reminds me of. He's a little bit of a poor man's Livan Hernandez.
Well, he's another Cuban pitcher with a big bag of tricks.
Yep. Livan used to invent pitches out there from time to time. Third time through an opposing batting order, he might drop down, throw sidearm, might throw a big overhand, slow curve, may show you a pitch you haven't even seen in your first 2 at-bats of a ball game.
Yeah, he's one of these guys who'll throw everything up there but the rosin bag. They know he's going to sink it, he's going to cut it, he's going to change speeds, he's going to change his delivery, his timing, you name it. One and two on Nick Ahmed. Alex Avila, the catcher, on deck.
It's usually the sign for a cutter. Looked like Rivera wanted it to start inside and cut back to the inside corner, trying to freeze a right-handed hitter, thinking it's going to be a fastball in. That time he missed all the way across the plate with that one.
He's missed with a breaking ball, missed with some cutters, and now it's full. We saw a lot of Despaigne a couple of years ago when he came over from Cuba with the Padres 2014 and 2015. Since then he's been in Baltimore, Miami, and now the LA Angels. Good at bat by Nick. They wanted to get him to bite at something down and away. Works a 1-out walk. Here's Avila.
Alex Avila using White Stripes music, and Jack White in the house tonight. How about that? He's a big baseball fan. Alex met him when he was playing for the Tigers in Detroit. That's Jack White's hometown.
Doesn't Jack White have a show tonight downtown?
Yeah, at Comerica Theater.
What time's that?
Pretty soon.
We better get over there.
He wanted to stick around and see Alex hit one out of here playing his music.
Alex at 175, 6 homers. Angels have 3 infielders on the first base side against Avila. That's Ward, the third baseman, right behind the second base bag. They'll leave the 3-time Gold Glover Andrelton Simmons all by himself on the left-hand side. Not a bad sinker right there, but Rivera had to move the glove so much that Laz Diaz was not going to give him the call. A ball and a strike. That's where Despaigne gets tricky. Took something off there. A changeup, and it's 1-2. Boy, some of his pitches just, they kind of float up to home plate. They look like beach balls sometimes. Boy, he's really missing with that fastball. Saw where Rivera set up, down and in. That was way up. 2-2. Your pitcher Buckles on deck. Alex swaps
Hits it to left. Blash makes the catch. Jabari Blash comes in.
The ball was trying to sink down to the grass there off the bat of a left-handed hitter, slicing away from the left fielder. Pretty nice play by big Jabari Blash out there. Jack White rooting for his friend. Oh, man, come on.
Clay Buchholz now. Ahmed at first, 2 outs.
He'll probably write a song about that.
The Avila humpback liner.
Yeah.
Might as well. As good as any other thing.
Like a good band name.
Humpback
Liners.
I still like the Human Element as the name for your band. Bob Brenly and the Human Element. Trying to butt his way on. Well, that worked out last night. Not so much there. 0-2.
Buchholz has shown himself to be a really good bunter in his time with the Diamondbacks. 5 sacrifice bunts when asked to put one down. He was trying to bunt for a base hit that time.
Lays off a high fastball. 1-2. Dave McKay coaching at first. Always want to be careful with your pitchers taking their hacks. Remember, Clay missed a month with that oblique problem earlier this year. Angels coming in here 4th in the American League West. They're a game under 500 after their loss last night, 63-64. 13.5 games back. 2-2 on Buchholz. There's the fastball for strike 3. Despaigne strands the 1-out walk. D-backs lead it 2-0. Don't forget you can participate in our 50-50 charity raffle presented by the Arizona Lottery right there from home, along with all of us at the ballpark. Your chance to win half the pot and help the kids in our community. Get your tickets online during every D-backs home game on Fox Sports Arizona at dbacks.com/50-50 raffle. And the winning number is revealed on the post-game show. And Bob, we got to give a big high five and a job well done to D-back fans who have already won this year over $1 million in jackpots. That means fans, you fans, have raised over $1 million to support youth baseball and softball programs all across our great state of Arizona. And it's our great thanks to you for participating in the 50-50 all year long. That's $1 million from you and the Diamondbacks to youth baseball all across our state.
Outstanding. They were able to add 15 new little leagues to the D-backs Give Back Youth Jersey program, bringing the total to 111 leagues. How about that?
That's awesome. Got to get the kiddies involved. DY Jr. leads off the third. And we mentioned, don't forget, you can buy tickets right there at home while you're watching the game, and you might win. The jackpot's already about $8,000 right now. dbacks.com/5050 raffle. As that one is hit to Nick Ahmed. Son, that ain't no way to make a living in the big leagues. Not after the play that Nick made last night. We've had 11 winners this year in the 50-50 who purchased their tickets online, so it happens all the time. Approaching $8,000 here with one out in the third.
Pitcher, number 40, Grisamer Despaigne.
Grisamer Despaigne. Everybody today when we came in, Bob, was Angels guys included, talking about this play that Nick Ahmed made last night.
Just fantastic. There's no other way to describe it. It was just an unbelievable play just to get to that ball in the hole, and then the body control to make that throw across the diamond. I mean, most guys can stand there with their feet planted and not make this good of a throw from deep in the hole at shortstop.
We got some tremendous info on that from our friend Mark Simon at Sports Info Solutions. Here comes Escobar from third. That play that Nick Ahmed made in the fourth inning last night, when a ball is hit to that spot across any major league infield, it's a base hit 96% of the time.
Wow.
So a major league shortstop, the best in the world, makes that play only 4% of the time.
And that was Eric Young Jr. that hit that ball.
Yeah,
he can fly down the line.
There's the overshift for Cole Calhoun. We talked about the difference between Andrelton Simmons and Nick Ahmed, who are 1 and 2 in defensive runs saved. According to, or among major league shortstops, Nick is number 1, Simmons is number 2. That's the metric that they track very closely. And it relates to the throw that Nick made. When you look at errors this year, Nick Ahmed has 1 throwing error. Andrelton Simmons has 10. That makes Nick's season defensively even more remarkable, I think. 1 throwing error all year.
Well, and hopefully this will be the year that the voters pay attention to all the new defensive metrics. In the past, unfortunately, the guy that has a good offensive season at his position and is a good defender tends to win the Gold Glove, even though there may be other players out there who have better defensive numbers.
And thankfully the voting seems to have sort of come around on that.
Yeah.
It's getting better and better every year. The real defenders are winning those awards now. And hopefully this is Nick's year. He deserves it. He has been unbelievable. 2-1 on Calhoun, who flied out his first time up. There's that cutter into the lefty. 2-2. David Fletcher, 3 hits last night, would be next. Clay looking for his second 1-2-3 inning so far, with Avila behind the plate. Waves at the changeup. 3 strikeouts for Buchholz. He's set down 5 in a row and leads it 2-0.
third, D-backs lead the Angels 2-0. Hey, the 2019 schedule is now available. Just got released. Get the benefits of being a D-back season ticket holder. Guarantee your seats for the Red Sox and Yankees. They're coming to town next year. Get a 2019 D-back season ticket plan. You can learn more. Check out the schedule. dbacks.com/advantage. A-Day doubled and scored to lead off the ball game. It'll only be the second time in Diamondbacks history that they've hosted the Red Sox at Chase Field. Last time was back in 07, so Michael Brenly will be here.
Yeah, he's fired up for that.
Red Sox bullpen catcher extraordinaire. D-backs also host the Yankees at Chase Field for the first time since 2016. 2 games set April 30th and May 1st. The home opener is the Boston Red Sox next year. We start out on the road for the first time since 2011. We open up at Dodger Stadium.
Here we go again.
Yep.
I don't want to make the schedule, but it just seems odd to have one team that has a roof on their stadium and the other that plays in Southern California.
It's a waste of 2 warm weather cities.
Yeah.
When you're going to open up, let's see, what, March 28th. It'd be nice to spread the warm weather out as much as you can.
You know, I understand the cold weather teams like to have their home opener to begin the baseball season every now and then too, but you're just going to have a whole bunch of doubleheaders later in the season because you open in cold weather cities.
We have a doubleheader scheduled for next year at San Francisco. A good old-fashioned day-night double dip.
How about that?
Play the Yankees 4 times. Play the Cubs in April. Out there, actually, that's going to be cold. Home opener April 5 against the Boston Red Sox. We open up at Dodger Stadium next year, March 28th. Fletcher is there for the nice high hop. Let's go down to Kate.
Well, guys, you're talking about that schedule for 2019, and when we had a chance to talk with Tori about that home opener April 5th against the Red Sox, obviously an organization he has a great history with. He said he's really looking forward to that. He said it'll be great to reunite with some old faces and see some familiar faces, some friends over there. He said that, you know, obviously he grew a lot with the organization, so it'll be great for the two to come together on his home field, hoping for that advantage. But he also said his one wish would be that would be just the teams reuniting after them being the last 2 teams standing this October. So he's just putting it out there. You never know. And of course, with the Yankees coming to town, we know how that plays out for the Diamondbacks when New York is in town, right, Bob?
Yeah.
Worked out well last time.
Worked out real well here.
High fly ball, right field. Calhoun is at the wall, and he's got room on the track. Allowed out number 2 for Eduardo Escobar.
Left field, number 6.
Yeah, we play every year. You change the American League division that you see in Interleague. This year, obviously, we're playing the AL West. We've got the Angels and Mariners in here this week, in fact. Next year, we start again American League East. I think we go to Toronto, Tampa, and the Yankees for our AL East road trips. That's going to be a lot of fun. We went to Toronto a couple of years ago where we tried to get your number retired at the Rogers Center. That didn't work out so well, but what a fabulous city that is. Looking forward to going back to Toronto for a weekend set against the Blue Jays next year. And hopefully the Bob Brenly number retirement ceremony. You may want to start working on a speech.
I've told you there's a problem with that.
What is that exactly?
Well, I inherited number 9 with the Blue Jays from Rick Leach, former University of Michigan quarterback.
Yeah, so he wasn't any good.
Well, and apparently he made lots and lots of enemies around the American League among fans.
Why?
Because they would see the number 9 on the back of my batting practice jersey. Didn't have a name on it, just a number. Hey, Leach, you stink. Well, I'm not Leach. Took about half a season for the fans around the American League to realize that Rick Leach was no longer with the Toronto Blue Jays, and by then I got released, so you know.
We were joking with Tori before the game today because the dress-up theme for the next flight is wear your favorite team's jersey in any sport. And I said, Bob's thinking about wearing his Blue Jays jersey because no one ever got to see it. And Tori said, he played for the Blue Jays?
Thank you.
2-0 Diamondbacks.
2-0. This is a sad day in baseball history. We go back to 2007. Brandon Webb's scoreless streak ends at 42 innings in the first inning of a D-backs 3-2 win. Had 3 shutouts during that stretch, and the reason it was sad was because Webby was looking to steal the record from Oral Hershiser, and I was rooting for that.
You and Oral have a history. Here's David Fletcher. Fletcher flying out his first time. Buchholz has retired the last 5 he's faced. Well, he was a Dodger after all. So.
Boy, was he.
Yeah, pretty good one. This is behind the screen. Well, we're going to see Oral next week. We got a huge 4-game series next weekend at Dodger Stadium. That's a biggie.
Clay Buchholz rolling again tonight. First time through the Angels order 1 through 9. He threw first pitch strike to all 9 hitters he faced. Had 3 0-2 counts, 2 1-2 counts, had 2 1-pitch outs and 1 2-pitch out.
He has been relentlessly efficient this year. Ouch. That fastball really got in on Fletcher.
No ankle guard of any kind and just drives that off the inside of his left knee. Ouch. Still trying to walk that one off.
John Jay's used to that, although he gets hit by the pitches. He doesn't have them fouled off. Worked last night, got the winning run aboard, as he always seems to. That one almost clipped Buchholz. Descalso knocks it down, but it rolls into center, and Fletcher has now got an 8-game hitting streak. That's his 4th hit in the series. Albert Pujols flying out his first time up. D-backs overload the left-hand side. Ahmed will not back as far up at shortstop as he was last time with a runner at first. Pujols sitting on 19 home runs. With his next homer, he will join Hank Aaron as the only 2 players in baseball history with at least 20 home runs in 17 of his first 18 seasons. Lined at Ahmed, the quick pick, and they'll turn 2. I don't know how many times we can continue to talk about Nick Ahmed's defense. It is remarkable.
That ball is absolutely smoked on a short hop, and it's one of the easier double plays we've seen this season. That ball was absolutely blasted off the bat of Albert Pujols.
I want Ahmed in there playing goalie for the Coyotes as soon as our season ends.
There you go.
Because that was a glove save and a beauty. Here's Andrelton Simmons. Have to clear that with Todd.
.104 miles an hour off of Pujols' bat right at the ankles of Nick Ahmed, and he picked it like he knew it was coming. No big deal.
I mean, how quick do you have to be with your glove to catch a 104 mile an hour grounder right at you? Oh boy, that last Diaz strike zone getting a little chunky. And it's working out in Buchholz's favor. It's 0-2 on Simmons. Just keep floating curveballs and cutters out there against these right-handers. It's going to work out. Let's go out there one more time. That's a little too much. 1-2.
Here's a look for Moskam. There it is, the fastball. Buchholz gets his 4th strikeout. D-backs lead the Angels 2-0.
Here in the 4th, this is what he did back in the 1st inning. A couple of sliders to start the sequence. He's behind 0-2, but that's never a big deal for Paul Goldschmidt. Lays off a couple pitches away, fouls off a fastball up, fouls off another fastball up, tries to nibble at that outside corner, and then a cutter at 88 right there in the middle of the zone, up a little bit. Goldie knows what to do with those pitches. Our nationwide vision center's eye on the game.
His 29th home run this year. He extends his hitting streak to 14 games. Home run number 96 in Chase Field history, the most all time, breaking the tie he had shared with Gonzo. Goldie's also now reached base safely in 27 consecutive games. That's the longest active streak in the major leagues. Diamondbacks do not have a base hit since the Goldie homer. That sinker was a foul tip. Rivera hangs on. Despaigne, in fact, has retired the last 5 batters he's faced. Another fastball up, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the Diamondbacks and their ability to score in the 1st inning of the game. If you take it even a little bit farther, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd inning of the game, the Diamondbacks are 1st in the National League in runs scored. But 4, 5, and 6, they're dead last in the National League in runs scored, and 7, 8, and 9, they're pretty much in the lower middle of the pack at 11th.
I mean, I had this discussion with Mike Farron on the Snake Talk radio program last night. If you're going to score 5 runs, does it matter when you score them? You can make that argument, but on the other hand, is it a good thing for the offense to basically go 6, 7 innings and only get 2 hits? It makes you a little uncomfortable.
Well, it certainly makes you uncomfortable, but as long as the bullpen continues to pitch well, and as long as the starters can continue to get 5, 6, 7 innings.
3-2 to Goldie. Fights off another fastball.
I would venture a guess that the numbers around baseball are similar because of the specialization in the bullpens, the closers, the setup guy, the left-handed specialist, the right-handed specialist. You get into the 7th, 8th, 9th inning of a ball game, it's going to be tough to get hits and score runs.
Goldie dunks one into center. He's 2 for 2. Daniel Descalso, a strikeout victim his first time. Day off for Ketel Marte. Descalso in at second. Torey Lovullo, knowing a crafty guy like Despaigne would be out there, he's got his usual bag of tricks. He'll sink it, cut it, change speed. So he kind of liked the matchup with the veteran Descalso in there tonight against a guy like Despaigne.
Well, Daniel has great numbers against Despaigne. He's batting 1,000 coming into play tonight, 1 for 1.
Owns him. Struck out looking to win the first, his first time up after the Goldie homer. Wait, Despaigne, Bob, is really working up in the strike zone. He's working at belt high and above really since the beginning of the ball game. Looks like Caleb Coward has checked into the game at second base. Don't know why Fletcher had to come out. We'll try and find out for you.
He fouled that ball off his knee in his at bat and must have not responded well when the trainers took a look at it. So they get Fletcher out of there in favor of Caleb Coward.
Now, Coward was in left field last night, but he is by trade primarily an infielder, so this shouldn't be too big a deal for him. Souza on deck. 2-2 on Descalso. Daniel had that big home run Sunday in San Diego, his 11th of the year, a new career high for him. That tied it up in the 8th inning against the Padres. Then Pollock's home run was the winner in the 9th. Cutter misses in, and Despaign's run it full 3-2 in the first 2 batters of this inning. There goes Goldie on the 3-2, and Descalso got a piece of that fastball. Diamondbacks still with only 3 base hits so far. Pollock doubled to lead it off. Goldie homered, then Goldie singled to start this 4th inning. That's been it. Goldie off of the pitch one more time. A roller to third. That's going to work out beautifully. Little check swing roller that stayed on the grass. No chance for Ward at third. 2 on, nobody out.
Boy, if you could just do this whenever you wanted to. Check your swing, hit a little grounder down that third base line with Ward playing back and over in the hole. That's a base hit all day long.
Well, the Diamondbacks really making Despaigne work. Back-to-back 8-pitch at bats, both singles on 3-2 counts. Here's Souza. 2 on, no outs. Steven grounded out his first time up. He had an RBI single in last night's win. That's how Despaigne succeeds, mixes you up. Got a soft slider in there, took a big cut at 1-1. Another one, a little below the knees, 1-2. Rockies now have a 5-2 lead over the Padres. They're in the 7th inning at Coors Field. Dodgers and Cardinals scoreless in the 3rd in LA. Well, a chance for Souza to continue his run producing pace. He's got 10 RBIs in his last 11 games. Ahmed, who walked his first time up, is on deck. Boy, Despaigne really works you to death. In, out, up, down, hard, soft. You name it, he throws it. Really likes to work up in the zone. 3 consecutive full counts open up the D-back 4th. Sinker in, fastball up, slider away. They've seen just about everything. And once again, it's an 8-pitch at bat by a D-back hitter in this 4th inning, 3 in a row. Goldie's at second, Descalso's at first. Fly ball, right field for Calhoun. He's there. Goldie tags and heads for 3rd. Nick Ahmed now. Long look down to Tony Perez-Chica, flashing the signs from 3rd. Ahmed, base hit. 3-0 D-backs.
That was a first pitch breaking ball, but it stays right there in the strike zone for Nick. Good line drive over the head of the shortstop on into left field to drive Goldie home with the 3rd run of the game for the D-backs.
Well, we talked about that in his previous at bat. Nick has seen a lot of breaking balls and off-speed pitches early in his ABs. That one worked out. Here comes Charlie Nagy, the Angels pitching coach. 3 singles and a hard hit fly ball to deep right field against Despaigne in the 4th. And the batter is Alex Avila. A chance for Alex. We got a letter here, BB.
Okay.
That we need to read from a young Diamondback fan. Alex Peterson from Phoenix wrote us a lovely letter. And he says, "Dear Steve and Bob, I think Alex Avila's nickname should be Big AA Battery." AA Battery. That might work, Alex Peterson. Well, a chance to power up right here. 2 on, 1 out. A run is in. Alex, by the way, has very good penmanship. He's 12 years old. He says, I have made a scorecard of almost every game this year. I also played Beat the Streak with you guys. My season long is 17.
Wow, way to go, Alex.
Nice job, Alex Peterson in Phoenix. Thanks for your letter. 17. Nobody in our group comes close to that. That's impressive. I was excited to come into tonight at 2.
I'm back to 0. My new least favorite player in the big leagues, Odubel Herrera.
I got Escobar and Peralta tonight. I'm 0 for 2 so far. Angels bullpen is busy. Jim Johnson, the veteran right-hander. One and 2 on AA battery.
Well, I got a letter too here, partner.
What do you get?
You don't get them all. I get a few of them.
You owe somebody money again?
Karina. I can't read her last name, but Karina, you know who you are. You drew a picture of a baseball and a bat on your letter. Dear Bob Brenly, me and my family love the Diamondbacks. It's a family tradition. That's what we're looking for, Karina.
Nice job.
Start family traditions. Mom used to watch the games with Grandpa. Now she watches them with her mom. Because they've been to a bunch of D-backs games, and she asks, who's your favorite Diamondbacks player? And she says it can be anyone.
You got to pick one, huh?
I like them all.
Pressure's on.
Me and Mom like AJ, she says. Do you like doing your job? Anyway, tell the Diamondbacks good luck and happy 20th anniversary. Thank you, Karina. That's very nice.
That's a great letter. That's a nice picture she drew, too.
Yeah, very nice. And we like the idea of a family tradition. Mom used to sit down with her father, Karina's grandfather, and watch the games, and now she's passing that on to her daughter. Hopefully it'll just go on for generations.
Lee Buchholz now. Now let's get a picture or a shot of that picture.
Yeah, Karina, but that's what the baseball looks like to David Peralta. That's his bat and that's the ball right now. Yeah, thank you, Karina.
That was nice. And we've got great response from our D-back fans. All kinds of letters. Julie Credlow wrote us a nice letter from Scottsdale. Stephen Ward from Gilbert. Carolyn Whitehead says hi from Buckeye. Hi, Carolyn. Barry from Phoenix. Karen Schumann from Cornville, Arizona.
Yeah.
I think that's one of your fishing spots.
Yes, indeed.
Dave and Sharon Eaton wrote us a letter from Lake Havasu. Hi, guys. Thanks for your kind words. Jack Young from Tucson says hi. Bonnie Doman from Tempe wrote us a nice letter. Thank you, Bonnie. Janice Riff from Kingman, Arizona. And Effie Gross from Fountain Hills watches all the games. Hi, Effie. Thanks, everybody, for your letters. Buchholz bounces one up the middle, but Simmons with 3 gold gloves takes the base hit and the RBI away. But the Diamondbacks add one more. They lead it 3-0.
lead over the LA Angels as they look to take both games of this 2-game set. Hey fans, college football is back on FS1, ASU's home opener. They'll face off against UTSA Sun Devils Saturday, September 1st, 7:30 on FS1. Or stream it live on the Fox Sports app. Really looking forward to Herm Edwards coaching here in the Valley. I got to work with Herm for years, and he is an awesome dude. I am really hoping that he does well. I'm sure he will with the Sun Devils this year. If you're in a room with Herm, you're all in. He's one of those guys, man. He owns the room, and he is a tremendous guy, and I'm sure he's going to do a great job. Rene Rivera leads off the 5th for the Angels against Clay Buchholz, who has retired 7 of the last 8 batters he's faced. He's only given up 2 hits. He's worked 4 scoreless. Rivera has one of those hits, a single in the 2nd. That one is hammered to left. Peralta plays it off the wall. Rivera will pull it at second, a leadoff double. He's 2 for 2. Well, he struck out all 3 times he was up last night, Rene Rivera. But so far tonight, a single and a double.
Just guessing fastball, got it middle of the plate in. Made a loud sound off the bat, but a lot of topspin on that drive. One hops the fence out there. 4th double of the season for Rivera.
Brings up the rookie third baseman Taylor Ward. He struck out his first time up. Buchholz has struck out 4 so far. He's not walked a batter. He's been getting that call out there more often than not from Laz Diaz. Not that time though, just off the plate. 1-0. Taylor Ward, just his 8th major league game tonight. 0 for 4 last night. He struck out twice. First round pick by the Angels 3 years ago from Fresno State. Ahmed gets over there to collect that. Rivera scampers back to the bag at second, and they get Ward for the first out.
Well, we've talked a lot about Clay Buchholz's last start against the Padres. Went 9, gave up the 1 run on a solo homer in the 8th inning. But talk about scattering hits. He gave up a hit to Jankowski leading off the ball game. Didn't give up another one until a 2-out single in the 5th. Then a 2-out single in the 6th, and a 2-out home run in the 8th. Scattering hits. Don't let him bunch them together. And he didn't walk anybody in that game, so didn't put anybody on that shouldn't have been on. Scattering the hits.
Jabari Blash with that unusual stance. Well, that's how Buchholz has been so successful. I mean, he's made 12 starts. He's given up more than 2 earned runs only twice. I mean, that is really impressive.
And he won one of those games when he gave up 3 runs against the Padres.
Buchholz, in really a very polite or even modest way, he's not surprised by his season here in Arizona. He said just last week, in fact, he knew that he was good. He knew that he was finally healthy. And he knew that he hadn't been healthy for, he says, 2.5, even 3 years in Boston. He is now a full year removed from that surgery he had last April, the torn flexor tendon in his right forearm. And that has been the key for him, along with learning to evolve. I mean, he is not the same youngster that came up as a 22-year-old and threw a no-hitter in Boston with 98-mile-an-hour fastballs. He's not that guy anymore at 34. And it's been really fun to watch him evolve. 50 pitches, 38 strikes. That's what you got to watch out for with Blash. You leave a breaking ball up like that, even though that was in, he can launch him.
Andy Green used to marvel about this guy's power every spring in Peoria when he was with the Padres. Light tower power. Grew up in the U.S. Virgin Islands, was late to the game of baseball, and is still trying to figure it out. Skies this one, foul ground. Goldie will give it a look, but it's behind the dugout, out of play. Flash is in left field tonight. The Angels yesterday had to put Justin Upton on the disabled list with a laceration on his left finger. He cut his left finger while cleaning a wine glass at his house here in Phoenix on Sunday. Needed 4 stitches, and so he's on the DL cleaning a wine glass. These things happen.
Beer steins don't break as easily as wine glasses.
So Upton now the 25th different Angels player to go on the DL this year. That's the most in the major leagues. 2-2. Can you imagine they've had an entire 25-man roster, all different guys on the DL? It's hard to compete like that.
I mean, you hear it every spring. 30 different spring training camps. If we can stay healthy, we can compete in our division. If we can stay healthy, it is such an important factor for any ball club. You got to keep your horses on the field if you expect to compete.
3-2 to Blash. That's what makes the Diamondbacks season, Bob, for me even more impressive. Don't talk to the Diamondbacks about injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamb is basically gone for the year. We've lost Jake. Taijuan Walker done. Tommy John. Get Shelby Miller back after a half season. He's gone again right away. I mean, one guy after another. AJ with the broken thumb missed 6 weeks.
Souza coming out of spring training.
Souza missed half the season, and here they are leading the NL West. Went to the changeup. Flash, a swing and a miss. That's 5 strikeouts for Buchholz.
The day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACS50 at papajohns.com.
Here's EY Jr., who grounded out his first time. We'll see EY Sr. here. Next month, he's coaching first base for the Atlanta Braves. Braves are in for a 4-game set. Starting September 6th. Get your tickets, dbacks.com. Shohei Ohtani on deck. He would hit for Despaigne. It was a lot of fun to watch Ohtani take batting practice today. Wow.
Fast hands.
Just barrel of the bat, one after the other. A lot of Japanese media here covering this game. Of course, he can DH in the National League Park, so reduced to pinch hitting. A high bouncer for Descalso. Buchholz is through 5 with a 3-0 lead.
3-0. Don't forget, fans, MLB.TV is now available at a lower price, $49.99. Lets you watch every out-of-market regular season game and gets you a free subscription to At Bat Premium. Now you've got your basic blackouts and your restrictions, so check the fine print, but visit MLB.TV and take advantage of this special offer. New pitcher for the Angels, the veteran right-hander Jim Johnson, on to start the bottom of the 5th inning in relief of Odrisamer Despaigne. And for the 3rd time in his 3 at-bats, A.J. Pollock will lead off the inning. A.J. has doubled and scored. Came home on the Goldie home run in the 1st inning. He grounded out his last time up, 1 for 2. Jim Johnson was out for a long time, just reinstated off the DL about a month ago. He had a lumbar strain. He has been around the block once or twice. Still not much going on in some of those other games tonight. The Rockies still lead the Padres. That's 5-2, 8th inning in Denver. Dodgers and Cardinals still scoreless in the 4th inning in LA. Ward at 3rd. AJ, whoa, that was awfully close. Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, is down there. They may want to have a look.
Taylor Ward took his sweet time getting that ball across the diamond. AJ.
It's close. Joey Lavello looking back at Jerry Nair and the bench coach, and they will challenge. Alan Campbell says, yeah, it's worth it, so the headsets will come on.
That's one thing you really have to love about the Diamondbacks. I don't care what team you root for. You watch a ball club like the Diamondbacks that busts it down that first baseline on a 2-hopper right to the 3rd baseman. How many times you see a guy just jog out of the batter's box content? Okay, that's a 5-3. I'm 0 for 1 that at bat. Diamondbacks don't do that. They put the ball in play. They run hard.
Well, they just showed the review replay on the DBTV board. This is synced now, the 2 cameras, the 2 angles. Remember, it's a catch when the ball is in the back of the mitt, in the pocket of the glove. And if that's the rule, then that should be an infield single. Diamondbacks have a 60% success rate when they make a challenge. That is the 6th best in the majors. And that is in no small part due to Alan Campbell, who does a tremendous job coordinating the video with the coaches in the dugout. 36 challenges, so 35 so far. They've been successful 21 times. My wife is texting. She says AJ was safe. So
well, that's good enough for me.
If we don't hear from New York, we've heard from Phoenix.
Put your phone number up there for the umpires to give Cindy a call.
Yeah, that could only lead to trouble. You got Angel Hernandez calling you 3 times a week. D-backs off tomorrow, and then the Seattle Mariners are in. Another AL West team comes in Friday for a 3-game series. Zach Godley will start that one on Friday night. Then it's Robbie Ray and Zach Greinke. After Torey Lovullo announced the other day they would flip-flop Godley and Ray in the rotation. They like the way that sort of matched up over the final 35 games or so of the year. They're taking a long look in New York. And he is out at first. So that's a 5-3 putout to start the 5th. All right. Eduardo Escobar 0 for 2.
What did you say? The Diamondbacks were 6th in their challenges. Is that what you said just a moment ago?
60% success rate, which is 6th best in the majors.
Because the worst in the majors, unfortunately, our buddy Craig Counsell, the Milwaukee Brewers, only 17%, 4 out of 23 this season.
Wow, that's not good.
Craig Counsell, who celebrated a birthday yesterday. He's 11.
Well, the Brewers beat the Reds at Miller Park today 4-0. Don't forget, fans, it's not all about, as we mentioned yesterday, the Rockies and the Dodgers. You got to keep an eye on the Brewers and the Cardinals and the Phillies and the Braves. In terms of the National League postseason race, there's Coward at second, 2 down. David Peralta 0 for 2. In talking with Torrey in his office before the game today, I said, hey, what are you seeing from Peralta? Because his numbers this month are insane. Hitting .422 in August with 8 home runs. So he's got 1/3 of his season's worth of home runs this month, and it's only the 22nd. And Torrey was saying, you know what? He's really keying in on one area of the strike zone. And when he gets the pitch in the spot he's looking for, he just doesn't miss it. He's staying behind the ball and doing a nice job. But when he is just not missing pitches when they're in the zone, in that one spot that he's waiting for. Punches it the other way, and he rolls one into left center. Here comes Goldie, who's 2 for 2. Goldie homered in the first, his 29th of the year. He singled and scored to lead off the 4th. You go back and look at the summer that Goldie has had. You think of May 22nd, when his batting average for the year was .198 for the season. And then you look back since June the 1st, exactly 70 games now. He's hit .353. And so a guy that was hitting a .198 right now is hitting .296. So that's 100 points.
I'll tell you, an off day Monday, an off day Thursday in the same week. That really helps Goldie's case for staying in the lineup. You know, Torrey for a long time was searching for an off day for his first baseman and just didn't seem there was a good time to sit him. But these back-to-back off days, or nearly back-to-back off days in the same week, I'm sure Goldie's going to tell Torrey, I'm good to go the rest of the way.
And that's coming off last Wednesday when we had that travel day going from Texas to San Diego. So in a span of let's see, 8 days, that's 3 days off for Goldie, and pretty much should check that box for Torrey. Fly ball deep left center field, and one hops the wall. Peralta's going to have to go back to third. Goldie is 3 for 3. He is unbelievable.
Boy, and he's really starting to quick trigger some pitches up in the zone. I mean, that's a fastball up there, letter high. That ball is crushed to the gap in left center field. Unfortunately, a little bit too much topspin that time. One hop off the warning track, up and over for a book rule double.
So he's a triple shy of the cycle. Peralta would have scored easily had that not snuck into the seats. So he's at third. Goldie at second. 2 down for Descalso, who singled his last time up, had that little check swing roller up the third base line. Here comes Charles Nagy, the Angels pitching coach. Used to have that job with the Diamondbacks here under Kirk Gibson.
Anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free crunchy beef tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
I noticed the timing of that promo from our producer Brad the Big Dog Weimer. A single here would get us tacos.
This is not his first game.
Fastball misses, 1-0. Just drops a curveball in for a strike. Young D-backs fans. Another good crowd here tonight. Had more than 30,000 in last night for the opener of this set. Doubles up on that breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Single makes it 5-0. Three straight curveballs retires Descalso. It stays 3-zip D-backs. Over the Angels this weekend. The D-backs Spanish broadcast is back on Fox Sports Arizona Plus for some interleague intrigue. The Mariners are here. Coverage in Spanish begins Friday at 6:30. Presented by your Valley Honda dealers and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. You can find your Fox Sports Arizona Plus channel listing at foxsportsarizona.com. Shohei Ohtani will hit for the pitcher Jim Johnson against Clay Buchholz to start the 6th. He lined out as a pinch hitter last night. Jumps on the first one again, got the changeup, and it's 0-1. Ohtani as a hitter, 267 and 13 homers. As a pinch hitter, he is 5 for 15, including 2 home runs. There's the defense against him. Big athletic guy, only 24 years old, Shohei Ohtani, 6'4", 200 pounds. Big time home run power and a upper 90s fastball. Got the fastball by him that time, and it's 1-2. Ohtani hasn't pitched for the Angels since June the 6th. He did throw a simulated game the other day with encouraging results after coming up with a torn UCL in his throwing elbow. He had some stem cell and PRP injections, hoping to avoid Tommy John surgery, and the results so far have been pretty encouraging. He's had some improved healing in that torn UCL. One ball and 2 strikes. He's a lot of fun to watch as a pitcher. 4-1 in 9 starts with the Angels this year. Had a 12 strikeout game against Oakland, struck out 11 Twins back in May. The 2-2 from Clay Buchholz. Broken bat up the middle and into center.
Buchholz starts him with a changeup. Ohtani loves to attack that first fastball, so he started him with back-to-back changeups before elevating a fastball at 90. Another changeup down low. Pushed him off the plate with that fastball, and then just jammed the living daylights out of Ohtani. Look at that jump swing. Both feet moving away from the plate as he made contact. Just dribbles it through into center field for a leadoff knock. Our Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game.
Once again, they'll overload the first base side for Cole Calhoun, who was flied out and struck out 0 for 2. Goldie holding Ohtani on the bag at first. That one is foul. Well, it's a final in Colorado. Rockies beat the Padres 6-2. So the D-backs will need a win here to maintain their game-and-a-half lead over Colorado atop the NL West. 3.5 up on LA. Dodgers and Cardinals still scoreless in the 5th. John Gray the winner in that one for the Rockies. Jacob Nix gets the loss for the Padres.
This Rockies and Padres squaring off at Coors Field. 1 home run hit in the game. All the candidates you could possibly think of. Freddie Galvis would probably be down the list of ways.
0-1 on Calhoun. Yeah, Austin Hedges had the home run for the Padres. That was the difference in the game last night. San Diego beat Colorado. There's a big homecoming for Cole Calhoun. He still lives in Chandler. Played at Buckeye Union High School. Played collegiately at ASU. He's a Sun Devil. Double play ball. Ahmed. Shovel toss. Escobar can't turn it. Calhoun runs well, beats it out.
Odd looking double play. Shortstop to the third baseman. Escobar had to go a long way to get there to cover the bag that time. And Calhoun still runs pretty good. Gets down the line in time to beat that relay throw.
First at bat tonight for Caleb Cowart, who took over at second base for David Fletcher after Fletcher fouled the ball off his own knee when he singled in the 4th inning. Cowart last night doubled and struck out 3 times. He was the starter in left field for the Angels. D-backs still with 3 infielders on the first base side. Curveballs to strike 0-1. Cowart just 3 hits in his last 26 at bats. He's a 151 hitter. Up and down for the minor leagues 4 different times this year. Former first-round pick. Just has not worked out for Caleb Coward as a hitter at the big league level. He's played small parts of the last 4 years in the majors. Last year 50 games with the Angels. He's got a tremendous throwing arm. For a while they thought maybe they'd turn him into a pitcher. The hitting has not worked out. No, he didn't, Manny Gonzalez. 1-2.
There were a lot of changeups this half inning for Clay Buchholz. He'd only thrown 7 coming into this inning. He's thrown 6 now in this inning alone.
And that's a pitch he said he just didn't really have against the Padres last week. Went to that curveball a lot more often instead. So it's good to see the changeup back.
And it's third time through the lineup, so he's going to show some pitches that maybe he didn't use as much the first 2 times through the Angels order.
Buchholz likes to control that running game, holds the ball a long time, throws over to first a lot. I really like the battery here that Torrey and the coaches have put together. Buchholz and Avila, a couple of veterans, both some grown-ups. They know what they're doing out there, and they seem to work really well together.
Like a big AA battery.
I see what you did there. That might catch on. Hopefully for our buddy that works out. Nice letter from Alex Peterson in Phoenix suggesting that should be Alex Avila's nickname, the big AA battery. There's a couple of AA's right there.
How about that? Nice work.
Well, you get a letter like that from a youngster. He's 12 years old. He's watching Diamondback games. He's keeping scorecards, playing beat the streak. He's just into the game of baseball. You love to see that. Pujols on deck. 2-2 on Coward. Left side of the infield is wide open now. Another changeup from Buchholz. They like that pitch here. Bullpen for the Angels. We've already seen Jim Johnson. Ty Buttrey, the right-hander. Ahmed is the only D-back defender on the left side of the infield, and he's almost standing behind second base. There's a lot of room over there. Come on, there it is. The curveball rings him up. 6 strikeouts for Clay Buchholz.
First baseman, Albert Pujols.
Big Albert. He has flied out and grounded into a double play. That's something that Pujols really does a whole bunch. Hit into double plays. He does not run all that well anymore. 3 defenders now once again on the left side, and Ahmed well back on the outfield grass at short.
Yeah, no chance to hit it into a double play here, thank goodness for Albert Pujols. He's done it 374 times in his career, the all-time leader in grounding into double plays.
Even for guys like this, there's good and there's bad. That's the great thing about this game. Boy, Buchholz just picking away at that outer half with that cutter on these righties. That's worked for him all year long. Going back out there again. Another cut fastball, and it's another strike for Buchholz. 0-2.
Coming into this inning, Clay Buchholz had thrown 30 fastballs of his 57 pitches. 25 of the 30 were strikes.
It's amazing how efficient he is. It just, I mean, you move the ball around, you throw the ball to both parts of the plate. You don't need 97, and it's just tremendously successful.
And not only commanding his fastball, coming into this inning, 7 of 8 curveballs in the strike zone, 5 of 7 changeups in the strike zone.
Came back in, that one got Avila.
Takes a lick and keeps on ticking.
The big Timex. John Cameron Swayze.
Yeah, there you go.
0-2. Calhoun still down there at first. There's a bouncer. Escobar will charge. Clay Buchholz is at it again. 6 scoreless innings, 3-0 Diamondbacks. These Angels, they lead at 3-0 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink. An off day tomorrow. And then a 3-game series against the Seattle Mariners on Friday. Zach Godley pitches the opener. Robbie Ray on Saturday and Zach Greinke on Sunday. So come on out, see Seattle. They're a fun team to watch.
Nelson Cruz went deep again today. The Mariners played the early game today, I believe.
Yeah, they lost at home to Houston 10-7. Here's Ty Buttrey, the right-hander. Gene Segura will be back. Mitch Haniger having an all-star season, former D-back.
Yeah, Seattle, I believe, trailed Houston 7-0 in that ball game today. Made it a game. Final score 10-7 Houston.
I watched the last 2 games, parts of the last 2 Seattle games, and I tell you what, the smoke from those awful wildfires.
Oh, yeah.
They're playing in this smoky haze at Safeco Field with the roof open. All of downtown Seattle is dealing with the smoke from these fires, and some of the pictures are unbelievable. It's just terrible. Souza down 0-2. Well, Ty Buttrey made his major league debut last week at Texas. Acquired from the Red Sox on July 30th in the Ian Kinsler deal. I got him from the Boston system. Pujols stumbles and somehow makes a tremendous play. Albert can still get it done down there. That was impressive. Is he okay though?
It might hurt a little more to get it done at this age, but boy, what a play by Albert, getting over there toward the foul line, smothering that ball. Boy, the wherewithal to just toss that ball back to the base as he's rolling into foul territory. What a play.
Buttrey gets over there. Albert's trying to walk it off. Mike Scioscia's out there as well. Albert Pujols still going at the age of 38. his 18th major league season.
He will remain in the game. And the batter is Nick Ahmed, who has walked. He's got an RBI single. Albert all smiles down there with Caleb Coward.
I'll tell you, fans, if you want to really see something impressive, go to Baseball Reference and go to Albert Pujols' page and pull up career splits. This guy's amazing. He hits over 300 in every conceivable situation. I think it's 302 against right-handed pitching, 304 against left-handed pitching, 309 with runners in scoring position. Just up and down the stat sheet. Tremendous career numbers for Albert Pujols.
The amazing thing is he's won 3 league MVP awards, and he was runner-up 4 other times.
Yeah.
So that's 7 times in the top 2 in the MVP voting. Here's another breaking ball to Ahmed. That continues to be an issue as of late. It's 0-2 on Nick. Seeing a lot of breaking balls early in counts. Still swinging. One thing about Pujols, when you look at the Angels and speak about where they're headed, he's 38. He'll be 39 next January. They still owe him another $87 million over the next 3 years. He is under contract through 2021. Well, he's obviously still a productive player. That's not the issue, but it's a lot of money.
St. Louis Cardinal making a bid to become one of my favorite players of all time. Jack Flaherty threw 5 innings, is throwing a no-hitter against the Dodgers tonight.
Like that, they're in the 6th at Los Angeles. Walker Buehler on the mound for LA.
Yeah, Flaherty with 9 strikeouts and 2 walks in his 5 innings of work tonight.
We saw him earlier this year. He was impressive.
Real impressive. Yeah, good-looking young right-hander.
We just heard the D-backs cheer, the fist pump song that Bobby Freeman plays and has done for years here in the ballpark. That's become a staple of Diamondbacks baseball here at Chase Field. That's been going on since the beginning, right?
Yeah, the very beginning.
I got a letter about that actually from Barbara in surprise as Nick Ahmed looks at a fastball. Barbara wrote us a letter, a nice card. Bob and Steve, thanks for the broadcast. She says some nice things and then says, will you please explain the significance of the song that makes fans pump their arms up and down? She says she tried to Google it but couldn't find anything. That's from Barbara, a big fan in surprise, and you're the perfect person to ask about that.
Well, my recollection is you know, this was back in the days before the high-tech graphics that we have nowadays, and when they would play that song they had like stick figures up on the big board, and the stick figures were pumping their arms up in the air alternately, right left, and the fans just kind of picked up on it, and as far as I know that's where it came from.
Bobby Freeman will play that music all the time, and that's the natural reaction, and it's stuck around all these years. Avila's lined out, struck out 0 for 2. So Barbara, thanks for your card in there in surprise, and hope that answers your question. There's the fastball. Avila caught looking. We'll head to the 7th. D-backs have a 3-0 lead. scoreless innings, a 3-0 lead as we start the 7th at Chase Field. Don't forget, fans, you got to add the final bobblehead of the year to your collection. Don't miss this one because this is one of the best of the year. The Ketel Marte Luchador bobblehead. First 20,000 fans to our game against the Braves on Saturday, September 8th. Get the Ketel Marte Luchador bobblehead. That is courtesy of Pepsi. Get your tickets at dbacks.com. Don't miss this one. That is awesome.
I think Ketel should dress just like that on his bobblehead day. Wear the mask, wear the cape, wear the high tops.
He might do it too. Boy, Clay Buchholz so far has given up only 4 hits. He's not walked a batter. 1 double play ball turn behind him. He's got 6 strikeouts, and as he so often seems to, 4 of those strikeouts have been looking. It's amazing how often his takes are called for strikes. He's always around the strike zone. Simmons 0 for 2 in the cleanup spot. And there is another strike 1. It seems like he is constantly ahead in the count, Clay Buchholz. Fly ball, deep right field for Souza. Buchholz really, by mixing up his pitches, changing speeds on his cutter, dropping curveballs into the zone like we just saw. I mean, the numbers really back this up. He gets a lot of called strikes against both right-handers and left-handers, much more so than most guys, and especially it seems with Alex Avila behind the plate. Got that cutter away to righties, the curveball into lefties. Rene Rivera has singled and doubled. He's got half the Angels' hits tonight.
And the key is, as you mentioned, he attacks the strike zone, and the people that notice that are the guys in blue behind home plate. You get a guy just pounding away at the zone all night long, and the umpires get in the habit of raising their arm when they see that ball. That's close enough. That's a strike.
He's faced 23 batters. He's thrown 19 first pitch strikes. He has got 10 outs on 3 or fewer pitches. It's amazing how efficient he can be. He's just, he's throwing it up there. 91, 87, 85.
Right, how refreshing must that be for Torey Lovullo and Mike Butcher? I mean, we've had instances this year, and it's happened to several guys in the rotation at time to time, where they're at 100 pitches in a 4th inning. It wouldn't surprise me if Buchholz throws a complete game at some point this year without reaching 100 pitches.
Fastball is up 2-2. Taylor Ward, the third baseman, on deck. Rivera's laying off some pitches. Fastballs up, changeup down, and he's worked it full 3-2.
Yeah, he's been a handful tonight for Clay. Rivera has 2 of their 4 hits.
He was up 3 times last night and struck out all 3 times. Here it is on 3-2. There it is. Another called strike. Another take that is a called strike 3. 7 strikeouts, 5 called.
Telling you, if you're around the plate all night long, you get the benefit of the doubt on borderline pitches. That's not even borderline. Cutter well off the plate away.
Buchholz is well ahead of the major league average in terms of pitches taken that are called for strikes. Here's Taylor Ward 0 for 2. High in the air, deep left field. Peralta has room. Buchholz 7 scoreless. We stretch. It's 3-0 Diamondbacks.
dbacks.com. Cattell, of course, a former Seattle Mariner. His old team will be in here for a 3-game set starting on Friday, August 24th through the 26th. Stick around after the game Friday for a free post-game concert featuring Mercy Me and the Biggs Fireworks Show presented by Gila River Hotels and Casinos. Get your tickets. Cowboy up at dbacks.com. John Ryan Murphy will lead off the bottom of the 7th inning, hitting for Clay Buchholz, whose night will end here. New pitcher on for the Angels, Williams Jerez, only his 7th big league appearance. Made his major league debut earlier this month against the Tigers, the 30th different pitcher used by the Angels this year. I think they're up to 35 or 36 right now. Acquired from the Red Sox along with the pitcher we just saw, Ty Buttrey, in the Ian Kinsler deal at the trade deadline. Well, John Ryan had one of the game's big hits last night. That perfect bunt up the first base line in the 9th inning that snapped an 0 for 34 skid for him. 207 and 9 homers, batting for Buchholz.
Yeah, it was a great bunt and great hustle on the part of John Ryan Murphy to beat it out.
It was a game changer, no doubt about that. After Jay had been hit by the pitch, it really set them up. First and second, no outs, and then A.J. Pollock dropped down that bunt that Bedrosian threw away, and the D-backs got the walk-off win. But you got to imagine it was a tremendous sigh of relief for John Ryan. His first base hit since July 6th. This guy's a lefty that throws hard. Buttrey came in, worked a 1-2-3 6th, got 2 strikeouts. Looks like the Angels may have got a couple of good young relief arms in that Ian Kinsler deal with the Red Sox. They're throwing them both right into the deep end of the pool. And Murphy's retired to start the 7th. A.J. Pollock, A.J. 1 for 3, doubled and scored in the first.
Center fielder, A.J. Pollock.
Diamondbacks about to hit the Angels 7-4. They lead at 3-0. Pollock, fly ball, center field. Eric Young Jr. is there. 2 outs. Bullpen is busy now that they've hit for Buchholz. Jake Diekman, the left-hander, Brad Ziegler, the right-hander. Both guys acquired by the front office right before the trade deadline. Warming up in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Escobar will bat right-handed against the lefty. He's 0 for 3. Trying to keep a 5-game hit streak going. I already have a single from Peralta. I need a base hit from Escobar to get up to 4 and beat the streak.
So I had Peralta tonight also.
Well, the way he's been going this month, you'd have to be crazy not to take him. Well, the Dodgers have finally gotten to Flaherty in Los Angeles. Jock Peterson breaks up the no-no. 1 out in the 6th.
Backdoor breaking ball has just caught too much plate that time.
So the Rockies have already won. They beat the Padres 6-2. Dodgers now have a lead over the Cardinals. So the D-backs need to hang on and win this one to stay a game and a half ahead of Colorado and 3.5 up on LA, unless the Cardinals, of course, can come back.
which has happened to the Dodgers a lot lately. I see Michael Brenly's Red Sox finally figured out a way to beat Cleveland. Red Sox beat the Indians 10-4 today at Fenway Park. There's Clay Buchholz, former Red Sox. Peralta would be next.
Mitch Moreland with his 15th home run in that Red Sox game. Xander Bogaerts hit 2. He's got 19 on the season. For Cleveland, Edwin Encarnacion hit 2 more. He's got 27 on the season.
Boy, Mitch Moreland turned out to be a nice pickup for them.
Maybe the All-Star team this year.
Got a 2-year deal. It's worked out pretty well. Well, I was looking at the standings the other day. We were focused, of course, on the contenders in the National League and the American League. But speaking of the Red Sox and Yankees in the AL East, have you seen Baltimore?
Yeah.
When you look at the number, they are 51.5 games out of first in the AL East. 51.5. That is a big number to put up on the board. Baltimore this year 37-90.
90 losses.
There's a base hit. Escobar, a 2-out single. So he's hit safely in 6 straight. I mean, were you ever on a team that was 50 games out of first?
I don't think so. I mean, we lost 100 and some games back in 1985, but I don't think we were ever 51.5 games out of first place.
I mean, that is a tough gig right there. So here's Peralta. Here's the Orioles, lost again at Toronto, 6-0. 37-90. Peralta singled his last time up. There goes Escobar. No throw from Rivera.
Escobar doesn't steal a lot of bases. We've talked about it since he came over to the Diamondbacks. He's a really good base runner, not a burner, the kind of guy you would expect to steal a lot of bases, but they apparently picked something up in the delivery from the Angels left-hander and took advantage of it there with 2 outs in the inning.
That one gets to the screen, and Escobar moves up again. A wild fastball that time that Rivera couldn't handle. He scored a pass ball. I think Rivera just saw that on the board and said, "Are you kidding me?" He's looking out at the DBTV board. It's in giant letters out in front of him. Talk about insult to injury. Here's the 2-0.
I've mentioned this in the past. Occasionally, an official scorekeeper will take the time to go down and talk to a guy. Hey, was that a cross up? You know, where were you set up? Where was the pitch thrown? Should that have been a pass ball or should that have been a wild pitch? They'll go down and get input from the coaching staff, from the players that are involved, and then there's a possibility that a call could get reversed.
3-0 fastballs in there. David has 5 home runs this year against lefties. There's Goldie. That's where the statue will go one day. His usual spot, that back foot up against the wall. Peralta hammers one. Right center. Gone. He has homered in 3 consecutive games. David Peralta's sizzling month continues. His 9th home run in August, and it's 5-0 Diamondbacks. That's 5.
David got almost an identical pitch that the one he took on the 3-0 count. A fastball, middle in, down a little bit. Probably broke his heart to take the 3-0 pitch, but he gets the same one on 3-1 and hits it up on the home run porch.
He has homered in 3 straight games. He's hit home runs in 6 of his last 9 games. Here's Goldie, who homered in the first.
Number 25 for David Peralta.
111 off the bat. It went an estimated 449 feet.
I believe it. Wow. Down the line and foul. Wow, how about Doc? Now that is a veteran move. Sid Doc Rosenblatt with a defensive play of the ball game. Here's Chris Marino in right field, and he's going to really have his work cut out for him to match Doc on that play.
Well, Doc Rosenblatt's been watching Nick Ahmed play right there in front of him at shortstop all summer.
Here it is, 449 off the bat of Peralta. His 25th of the year. Well, we talked at the top of our show about the Peralta Goldie combo, 3 and 4. And Torey Lovullo, when he tweaked his lineup a bit, wanted those two guys in those two spots. And they've both homered tonight. Both in the top 4 in OPS in the National League this month.
5 hits between them, 4 runs driven in between them, 3 runs scored.
Goldie's a triple shy this cycle as he steps in here, and it's a full count, 3-2. Goldie has 4 triples this year. Descalso on deck. Base on balls. He's reached base all 4 times he's been up tonight. Charles Nagy out to the mound to talk to his left-hander as Descalso comes up. You want a triple, usually Ketel Marte is your guy. As Diaz recording the mound visit here for the Angels.
At this partner for David Peralta, that was his 25th homer of the season. However, it was 162nd hard hit ball, 95 miles an hour or more this season. 162. That's 12th most in the major leagues.
And it's amazing because so many of his hits come on the ground. He's a lot like Ketel Marte in that regard. They both hit the ball hard, but on the ground a lot. Peralta, in terms of launch angle, is well below major league average, but he's put up a 25 home run season. Slider is a swing and a miss. Daniel has singled and struck out twice. Center field, and that one dunks in. 4 straight have reached, all with 2 outs. And the batter is Steven Souza Jr. Mike Scioscia on his way out. Pitching change coming up. 5-0 Diamondbacks. Back after this. Angels here in the 7th inning at Chase Field. Don't forget, fans, if you can't watch the D-backs games on your television, you can stream them live on your mobile device. Use Fox Sports Go. It's brought to you locally by your Valley Honda dealers. Download the free app. Take Fox Sports Arizona and your D-backs with you wherever you go. Noe Ramirez, the right-hander, is on from the LA bullpen, his 58th appearance of the year. And the 5th pitcher used by Mike Scioscia tonight. D-backs got 2 in the 1st on Goldie's home run, his 29th. They added 1 in the 4th on a Nick Ahmed RBI single, and 2 more in here in the 7th on David Peralta's 2-run home run, his 25th.
Right field, Steven Souza Jr.
And here's Souza 0 for 3. 2 on, 2 out, 2 runs already in.
And another Red Sox connection. Noe Ramirez claimed off waivers from the Red Sox last August. Had some time in the big leagues for the Red Sox.
Another RBI chance for Souza. Oh, got a hanging curveball there. Stevens, since July the 6th, with runners in scoring position, is batting well over 300 with 22 RBIs. He's got Goldie at second, Descalso at first. And a high sinker from Ramirez, 0-2. I think we see that a lot these days, Bob. I mean, I'm sure in your day a sinker was always at the knees or down. But guys lately seem to throw that pitch up a little bit more, up or in to right-handers certainly. Saw Despaigne do that a lot actually earlier tonight.
Yeah, usually you see 4-seamers worked across the top of the zone and 2-seam sinkers worked across the bottom, attempting to get ground balls. But with so many guys focusing on launch angle, trying to get the ball in the air, that high fastball has become a really good weapon again.
1-2. No, he didn't go. Jeff Nelson's down there at first. Nick Ahmed has walked. He's got an RBI single tonight. He's on deck. Tried the sinker down and away that time. Have it sneak back across the corner, but just missed, and now it's full. This will get the runners started. Pujols playing behind Descalso at first. Here's the 3-2. There go the runners. Yes, he went, says Jeff Nelson, and Souza strikes out. 8th inning on the way. D-backs lead the Angels 5-0. Sensational again. 7 scoreless innings. He gave up only 4 hits, 7 strikeouts, 5 of them looking. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning and plumbing pool plays of the game.
Yeah, when Clay Buchholz was at it, you had the feeling the Diamondbacks were just hoping that he could keep that spot in the rotation, keep it even, keep the head above water, just hang in there tough, let the guys at the top of the rotation pile up the victories. And Clay Buchholz says, forget that, I'm going to come in here and deal. And boy, has he ever.
He has now given up a total of 5 earned runs in his last 4 starts. And Brad Ziegler is on to start the top of the 8th inning against Jabari Blash. Ketel Marte is in the game, replacing Daniel Descalso at second base. Blash has struck out twice so far. In the big leagues this year, he is 2 for 25. Ketel Marte will bat 9th. Pitcher spot is now 5th in the Diamondback order. Tonight was the 2nd straight start in which Buchholz issued 0 walks. No walks in his complete game at San Diego last week. 7 innings without a walk here tonight. Blash hits it deep to left center. Peralta will play it off the wall. It gets stuck in there. And he yanks it out from under the pads. It's a double for Jabari Blash.
Tremendous plate coverage here. That slider catches a little bit more of the zone than Brad was hoping for. I think Blash would have swung at that pitch if it was 3 feet outside, but that one stayed right there on the outer third of the plate, and he bangs it out there in a crack in the padding in left field.
Well, he's had a good year at Salt Lake City. 320, 26 homers. He doubles to start this one. Here's EY Jr. No one in the on deck circle yet for the Angels. Pitcher spot is due up. Looks like Jeffrey Marte, who homered as a pinch hitter last night, has come on out. Young 0 for 2 so far. That one trickles foul. There is Rene Rivera. We have some good news, Bob.
Yeah.
That pass ball that sent Escobar to third in the 7th inning just before the Peralta home run has indeed been changed to a wild pitch.
That is good news.
Rodney Johnson making the call on that one, so I'm sure that'll cheer Rivera up just a little bit. Sinker just a little low for Laz Diaz. It's 2-1 on EY. That will stay fair for Goldie. Blash moves up to third. And here is Jeffrey Marte, who hit a long pinch hit home run last night. That was in the 7th inning against Yoshi Hirano. His 5th of the year.
Number 19, Jeffrey Marte.
And this was a no-doubter.
Fastball up and in that time, just not up enough. Marte able to tomahawk that one out here to left field. Way back.
Upper tank. 2 for 13 as a pinch hitter. D-backs have 3 infielders on the third base side against him. Blash, the runner at third, 1 out. Angels have not had a lot of base runners tonight against Buckholz. LA has 5 hits. They've only left 3. D-backs 5 runs, 10 hits. They've left 7. Diekman looks like he's still good to go in the bullpen. Angels bullpen is busy as well. That's Deck McGuire, the right-hander. They've got the left-hand batting Cole Calhoun on deck for the Angels. Here's the 1-1 to Marte. That spinner misses away. Here's Jake Diekman in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Brad's sinker is sinking a lot. The slider is sliding a lot. He's behind 3-1 with Calhoun on deck. There's Jerry Narin in the middle there, the bench coach. There's a strike. You get to the ballpark at dawn for a night game, Jerry Narin greets you wearing his uniform.
Well, he's already been here for a few hours. Yeah.
He is unbelievably dedicated. He is the first guy here, home and away every day, in full uniform, ready to go. Full count, 3-2. There's a tapper to third. Escobar will watch Blash score. They get the out at first, and the Angels are on the board. RBI for Marte, 2 outs. Diekman is ready. Here comes Torey Lovullo. And we'll see the left-hander back after this. Angels on the board, 2 outs in the 8th inning. New pitcher for the Diamondbacks, the left-hander Jake Diekman, on to face Cole Calhoun. I think Torey, Bob, is gaining more and more confidence in Jake Diekman. Jake had a bit of a shaky start once he first arrived here in Arizona, but he's looked very good lately.
Trying to work him into some less high leverage situations. Let him get his feet underneath him out there, establish that high 90s fastball. Try to match him up against some lefties in the opposing lineup. Let him build his confidence out there so he can become a usable weapon down the stretch.
A overshift against Calhoun, who's 0 for 3. Well, Diekman's got some fairly nasty stuff. That hard slider, mid-90s fastball, comes at you from a funky angle.
Just cannot be a comfortable at bat for a left-handed hitter.
No way. He's over there on the first base side of the rubber.
Throwing him back across his body.
Avila sets up away. Sliders in the dirt, 1-1. Boy, there was a while where you wondered what was going on with Cole Calhoun. He went through a 2 for 34 skid in May, and then at the end of that month he was on the DL, had an oblique problem. And at that point his batting average for the year was 145. That's 2 months worth of 145. But ever since he came off the DL in the middle of June, he's hit about 300 and belted a whole bunch of home runs, 16. So he's really salvaged something from this year. Angels bullpen has been busy all night. Now Parker joins McGuire. Here's the 97 from Diekman, and Calhoun strikes out. 5-1 Diamondbacks in the game.
As a connoisseur of the well-pitched game, the efficiency of a guy like Clay Buchholz, how impressed were you tonight?
He did a great job just stemming off his last start too. Got through 7 innings, only 86 pitches. It's just a matter of just attacking the strike zone. That's what he does.
We'll break that down, and of course the night of Paul Goldschmidt. That's when this game is over, but still, guys, lots of work to witness together. So let's send it back to you in the booth.
All right, guys, thanks. We'll look forward to that after our ball game on Fox Sports Arizona. Nick Ahmed will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning against the new pitcher for the Angels, the right-hander Deck McGuire, who has been up and down from AAA Salt Lake 5 times this year. Just recalled for the minors before the game tonight. Ahmed has walked. He's got an RBI single. Deck McGuire, big guy out there, 6'6", 220. He was the 11th pick in the draft back in 2010 by the Blue Jays, coming out of Georgia Tech, but he's really bounced around. He's pitched for just about everybody. Blue Jays, A's, Dodgers, Cardinals, Reds, Jays again, Texas, and now the Angels.
By the way, the Cardinals have tied the Dodgers 1-1. They're in the 8th inning in LA. Rockies beat the Padres 6-2 at Coors. Jock Peterson hit a home run that broke up the Flaherty no-no, and now the Cardinals have come back to tie.
Tyler O'Neill with his 4th home run of the season for the Cardinals.
Love it. There's a fastball at the knees. 2-2 on Ahmed. Alex Avila on deck. Then it's Ketel Marte here in the Diamondback 8th. D-backs win and a Dodgers loss would put Los Angeles 4.5 games behind the Diamondbacks. Fastball's right there. Nick caught looking. 1 down. Oh, here's the big AA battery. Alex Avila for 3 so far.
I'm sure astute Diamondbacks fans have already figured this out, but you got AA Alex Avila, you got B Brad Boxberger,
and Bob Brenly.
You got double D Daniel Descalso, double E Eduardo Escobar, double J John Jay, double S Steven Souza.
That's really weird.
And double R Robbie Ray.
You're freaking me out, man. Stop it.
7 of them.
That's got to be like a record or
I think
something.
so. I'll get my staff working.
What do you call that? Is there a name for that?
There probably is. I think I missed that day of class though.
Well. That is pretty unusual.
It is.
They only got 25 guys on the team. Half of them have the same initials. Coward at second. There's first at bat tonight for Ketel Marte. Yoshi Hirano warming up in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Don't forget the Ketel Marte Luchador bobblehead is coming up Saturday, September 8th. That's a game against the Atlanta Braves. Ketel Marte Luchador bobblehead. Get your tickets, dbacks.com. That's the final bobblehead this year, so don't miss this one. Marte 249, 10 homers. He singled and walked twice in his start last night. The Ketel Marte Luchador bobblehead. That sounds a lot better than the Ketel Marte Skinny Jeans bobblehead.
Yeah.
Ketel is famous, or perhaps infamous, with his teammates for wearing very tight jeans, like crazy tight. How does he walk in those things, kind of jeans? It's a constant source of entertainment on the road. You know, we all reach that certain age where skinny jeans they're just out of the equation.
Yeah.
You have to
way
punt,
out of the
but
equation.
Ketel's not there yet, and he's taking advantage. You know, you walk up what are the ladder thing to get on the planes? What do you call that? The thing, the stairs.
Stairs.
Yeah, stairs. Well, they the ones on wheels, they roll up. I thought there was an official airplane name for them.
There
anyway,
probably is.
You wonder how he makes it up the stairs in those jeans sometimes.
Yeah, you reach a certain age and a certain weight, and comfort trumps cool every day of the week.
Cool is a distant memory, if at all, for most of us. AJ would be next. Now, if they had a mom jeans, we could probably pull that off, right? You wear mom jeans?
I'm pretty sure I could.
Or dad pants?
Dad
one
pants,
or the other. Here's a 2-out walk.
Receive 15% off at the Chase Field Team Shop when you use the card by Gila River Casinos. I wonder if they have skinny jeans down at the Team Shop.
I'm afraid to look. AJ doubled and scored in the first. Came in on the Goldie homer. He's 1 for 4. TJ McFarland joins Yoshi Hirano in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. TJ not wearing a microphone, and now his teammates are talking to him.
For Marte, that was his 44th walk of the season. That's pretty impressive for a guy that's had a reputation of being an aggressive hacker. He's being much more selective this year, maybe coming with more playing time, more regular at bats.
Yeah, he walked twice in the game last night, Ketel Marte. That's good to see. That spins Pollock around. An update from LA. There is the home run. O'Neill ties it at 1 in the 8th at Dodger Stadium. That's after Jock Peterson's home run had broken up the Flaherty no-hitter and given the Dodgers the lead. And if you want to put one of these games these days in the hands of the LA bullpen, that's just fine with us. They have struggled. Good slider from Deck McGuire, 1-1 on AJ. Rockies beat the Padres 6-2. That's a final. These are the last 2 games going on the Major League calendar today. Dodgers and Cardinals, 1-1 8th inning. Here it's 5-1 Diamondbacks in the 8th over the Angels. AJ drives one deep right center. EY Jr. is there. And that ends the 8th. We'll hit the 9th. It's 5-1 Diamondbacks. Great night here at Chase Field. D-backs leading the Angels 5-1 as we start the 9th inning. And the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks, the right-hander Yoshihisa Hirano, who worked in the ball game last night. Yoshi threw 12 pitches. He's on to face Caleb Coward, Albert Pujols, and Andrelton Simmons, 2, 3, and 4 in the LA 9th. 60th appearance this year for Yoshi, a 2.19 ERA. Coward took over at second base for David Fletcher, who had to leave the ball game after he fouled the ball off his leg.
stuck in a 3 for 27 skid right now. He struck out 4 times in the series. Here's the splitter, 1-2. There you go. Called strike 3. Looks at the split finger fastball. Well, Hirano struck Coward out when he faced him in the ball game last night. Got him again here. 1 down for Pujols. Albert 0 for 3. He is hitless in the series. Once again, 3 defenders on the left side of the infield. Ahmed, the shortstop, well back in the outfield grass. There's the splitter, 0-1. Yes, he went. Jeff Nelson down there. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We've talked a lot about Albert in this short 2-game set. The thing that's amazing for me, he looks like the same hitter back in 01. Same style. Yeah. Nothing has changed. Everything is pretty much exactly the way it was when he got to the major leagues. And why change? It's been working pretty well for him.
He's off the split, 2-2.
You know, we see guys change their batting stance sometimes from at bat to at bat, pitch to pitch, but those guys that find something that works and stick with it for as long as he has, that's truly amazing consistency.
Albert Pujols tied with Cap Anson for 23rd on the all-time hits list, well over 3,000. 633 home runs. He is 6th on the career home runs list. Hello, Albert. Hey, 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 3-2.
Hey.
Trying the splitter. Pujols is aboard, a 1-out walk. Andrelton Simmons, the cleanup hitter. Simmons 0 for 3 after he had a couple of hits and an RBI last night. Todd Walsh, Brandon Webb standing by. D-backs Live post-game show follows our ball game. A little fly ball out to AJ in center for the 2nd out. Day off for the Diamondbacks tomorrow. We are back here Friday against the Seattle Mariners. All 3 games in the Seattle series on Fox Sports Arizona. You'll see Zach Godley, Robbie Ray, and Zach Greinke Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Godley goes for win number 14 here Friday night. The catcher, Rene Rivera, has 2 of LA's 5 hits.
Rene Rivera could have played for the Diamondbacks back in 2010. It would have given him 4 guys with double R's. Ryan Roberts, Rusty Ryle, and Rafael Rodriguez.
Headed for the right field corner, but that one is foul.
The Diamondbacks also had a real nice run between 2000 and 2002. Had Matt Manti and Mike Morgan each one of those years. In 2000, you had Matt Mieske. In 01, you had Mike Moeller, and in 02, you had Mike Myers.
Your staff needs a day off.
Yeah, they do.
0-2 on Rene Rivera. Dodgers and Cardinals still tied 1-1 in the 8th inning. LA has 2 on and 2 out in that ball game. Rockies winners at home over the Padres 6-2. One and 2 on Rene Rivera. Fly ball right field. Steven Souza Jr.'s got it. And the D-backs take both games from the Angels. They improved to 15 games over 500. They've won 6 of their last 7, and they maintain their game-and-a-half lead atop the National League West.
And as usual, the Diamondbacks jumped early, scored 2 runs in the first, but unlike some of the games in the past, they kept the offense rolling tonight. Scored another run in the 4th, and then a 2-run homer by David Peralta in the 7th to cap the scoring tonight for the Diamondbacks.
And once again, Clay Buchholz was sensational. 7 scoreless innings, so 5-1's the final. Webby and Todd will break it down when we come back. Up next, it's D-backs Live, the post-game show, brought to you by CenturyLink. Diamondbacks win it 5-1.